And then equally how disappointing France were.
Yeah.
I know we didn't let them play, but I couldn't get over how badly a coached team they looked in attack comparatively to us. And just that there was a clarity around everything we were trying to do. And when things broke down, didn't take too long to rebuild back up again. There was just this total, just shows the reliance on Antoine Dupont and Ntamak and their X-factor players to deliver something in the big moments. That's not enough.
So do you now think France are reliant on that X factor, the Dupont Ntamak X factor, as opposed to brilliant training groundwork?
100%, and I don't think that's changed. I think that was the case.
Okay.
Yeah, I did think at Rugby World Cup time that the preference would be to have them in a quarter final, because obviously our history against Kiwi team, Joe Schmidt and all of that, the factors, there were just the concerns there. Whereas, yes, France were playing at home and they had those, well, they didn't have Ntamak, but they had, all those superstars playing. But what I had seen over the course of the tournament didn't frighten me per se. I know that they've had this very successful couple of years and not lost a lot of games, but a frightening thought would be if Andy Farrell got hold of that team, what he could do with them, and putting some structures in place in attack. And I know it's not necessarily the French way, that they do play off the cuff and loose and fast. But if you gave them a little bit of structure married in with that, with some of their athletes, I just think that they have the potential to be devastating. Whereas the flip to that was when you don't have Dupont controlling things, you don't have Ntamak there, Jalibert has a poor game, they don't give the platform that you would have hoped, their kick game is off, all those factors worked against them. Damien Penaud, I don't know if we've seen him have a worse game in blue. I just thought, what's this multi-phase? After you go to launch, if you take away their power game, which is still significant, what about deception around, creating, change of direction, having multiple options at the line? There was none of that. Again, it was one-out runners. It was bludgeon. And then when they ran out of ideas, they kicked the ball away and kick it away poorly. I was so disappointed in parts of what we saw in that quarter final. There was some of the best rugby that I think that they've played over the course of the last couple of years. But if you break down some of their scores, a lot of them were about individual flair rather than team created tries.
Yeah, it's interesting.